serious, but it is not logical. And here it is. Being a human being means to obey natural laws as we have it on earth. For example, being a human, how do we become human being? We were born. We were born as babies, and gradually we begin to grow. We become youth. From youthful age, we grow into full adulthood. From full adulthood, we grow into old age, and after some time we die. This is a human nature, and nobody's going to blame you for being a human being, for being a child. Once upon a time you were a child, today you are an adult, tomorrow you're going to be an old man, and the next time you die. This is a human sequence, and this chronological timeline covers every single human being. There is no human being today that has never, for example, you're an adult today. Once upon a time you were a baby in the cradle. So do we say God was a baby? No. We can't say that God was a baby in the cradle, because if we agree that God was once upon a time a baby in the cradle, then we'll take it back a little further. We say, okay, when was God in pregnancy? Okay, God was in pregnancy. Okay, if God was once upon a time in pregnancy, that means the mother carried God in the pregnancy. So if the mother of God can carry God in pregnancy, that means the mother of God is greater than God. So and you see the pack falling in that aspect. So that means the illogicality of God being a human being, or the Shiva Lingam, or whatever anybody believes, may fall off one by one. Furthermore, every human being eats food, and the moment you eat food, the next thing you're thinking of is defecating the next day. You eat some short meal today, the next day you are in the toilet to defecate. You drink water, you drink other forms of drink, the next thing you want to urinate. Okay, now as a human being, you sleep. When you are asleep, you snore, and you slumber, and so many things happen and stuff like this, and before you know it, something else goes on. Because you are asleep, then you can't be in control of yourself. For that reason, we say that it's important for us to understand that God Almighty cannot be like us as human beings. We can't be like God in His own majesty, because, for example, the realm of the spirituality is where God stays, and we operate in the realm of humanity, where we have to eat food, drink water, sleep, walk. We get tired. After walking, we get tired, and we have to rest, because God does not work, because God does not involve in activity. So He doesn't need to rest. Anybody that rests, that means he has done something that frightened him out, that probably might be beyond his power. Being alive or dead are part and parcel of human activity. So we can't say God is alive. And some people say, why can't you say God is alive? Is God not alive? No, God is not alive. The person that will be alive is the person that will once upon a time was non-existent. Now you come alive. But God is the life. It's not alive, He's the life. God Himself is the life. We all know that God Almighty is not like human beings that He has created. God created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, but He never got tired and He never rested. When you talk about this, you discover that the analogy of God being a man falls like packs of cards, and that will not be able to stand. So we're going to stop here today on the first series of Knowing God. Now, what we have been able to derive today is that there is one who has made the entire world. You might call Him in different languages with different names. That's okay, it's fine. You call God Chineke, I call God Ubangiji. The same thing we're talking about. So we don't have to fight on understanding of God, because the way you understand God might be different from another person's understanding of the Almighty. The Almighty is greater than our understanding. But what we're trying to bring to the fore is that this understanding must be proven logically correct. You cannot tell me that because it suits man, it should suit God. And that's what some people said, with due respect to those who believe in this. Some people said, I went to drink tea with God. So if they believe that if you can sit down and drink tea with man, you should be able to sit down at the table and drink tea with God. Somebody say, I had dinner with God. Dinner with God? Where? Is it in Jupiter or Uranus or Pluto or in this earth? These are things that We can have different understanding of God Almighty, but that understanding should be put to the test of logicality. You see, if you say God ate, okay, if you drank tea with God, you ate food with God, you went to toilet to defecate. So God too went to toilet to defecate. When you drank tea with God, you have to go and urinate, you have to go and wee. So God wee. So these are things that we know that are not really logical, but our understanding of God Almighty can be in myriads of ways. And nobody can monopolize God. But what we should handle is that it is wrong to say, okay, they are God and our God. No, God is God. The God tells us in the Quran, wa ilahuna wa ilahukum wahid. God, our God is your God. No separate God. Our God is this, your God is that. No. That means if you can say this, it means you don't even understand God. Is it God of Muslims or God of Christian? No. It means you don't understand God. Or God of Jew, God of this. No. You don't understand. If you understand God Almighty, then you're not going to be talking this way. We're going to stop here and then we go on a short break right now. When we come back, we're going to switch gear to the next segment of our program, talking about family matters. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. God bless you.